I'm Ashish. Presently, I'm doing my PhD in mechanical and aerospace engineering in Oklahoma State University, that is in Stillwater.
Mhm.
I have done my bachelor's from National Institute of Foundry and Force Technology, that is in India, and
Mhm.
my branch was material science and engineering. And after that, I did a master's from IIT Kanpur, and there my branch was material science and engineering, and I have been in a lecturer position in NIT Ranchi, and it was a 1 year tenure track position, and then I came for a PhD position over here.
Okay.
So I will be graduating this summer semester in July 25th of July, and my question is like I have been applying to multiple industries which are related to semiconductor domains
Mhm.
because my specialization is characterizing the thin films and understanding the defect and properties of these thin films, which can be directly used for sensors and device application in a semiconductor industry.
Mhm.
So that's my introduction.
So let's focus more on your questions then. So
Right.
what are your questions here?
My question is like I have been applying as my expertise is on characterizing the thin films and understanding the structure property correlation of these thin films.
Mhm.
I have been applying to these core areas where the industries are working, like Intel, Micron. There are a bunch of industries which are working in semiconductor domains. So I have been applying to these industries, but I'm not getting any interview call. And I have seen my fellow colleagues who have like similar profile as of me and this type of publication. So two things came up in my mind, like whether my number of publication is not like appropriate or they are like less. But I like asked with my fellows like the colleagues, they told like it's not about the number of publications, like all whatever criteria you are fulfilling for the industry you already have. It's just like you need to further refine your cover letter or something like that. So I also did that. So I just need a path right now, a direction, so that I can just go with the flow and
Mm.
let's see.
And so if I ask you, actually, what's your plan after you want to finish your PhD? Like what's your plan A?
I'm planning for go in a industry.
Okay. So that's what you want. That's your plan A. Is there a plan B also or no?
No plan B.
No plan B. Okay. And the students that you have spoken to, where they are from? They are from your school or some other schools?
They are like IT Kanpur alumni, and yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But
they
what
are
I'm
well
saying is,
placed. Yeah,
no, no. What I'm
sorry.
saying is, are they from your school or they are finishing their PhD from other schools?
They are finishing their PhD from other schools,
Like like example.
like Illinois State University,
Okay.
Berkeley,
Okay.
and
And they have received offer, you're saying?
yes, they have received the offer, and like so.
Okay, okay, I understand. So here's the thing that I will tell you. So far, when you have submitted your CV, have you received, and when you are planning to graduate?
Summer, July 21st.
Oh, this year.
Yes.
Okay, okay, got it. And you have finished your draft thesis and everything, is that,
Yes,
or you're
I
working?
finished everything.
Okay, okay. So this is the right time for you to apply then. Okay. Um, so my other question to you is, when you have applied into those positions, um, when did you start applying? In just last couple of months, or it's been 6 months when you have started applying?
It has been like 1 month.
1 month, okay. And so far you have not received a single, even a phone interview, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So okay, so I there are a couple of things I will tell you. Is one is, I don't. That's the reason I ask you the schools that you are talking about. So there are in industry, and there are sometimes what happens is we have our own preferred schools. right? So if your friends are from one of those schools, the chances are they are most likely to hear from them.
Right.
What I'm trying to tell you is, if I look at your CV, to be honest with you, and the work you have done, um, I think it's a good amount of work, and you have done quite a lot of work, to be honest with you. And there is nothing wrong in saying, in me saying that the amount of work you have done is less than what is expected from a PhD students once you graduate.
Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
for that.
I don't think that is the case here. I think your publications are enough. I mean, I'm glad they are not too much actually. They are right there. I think you have about 10 publications, which is
Right.
perfect, right? So I don't think there is anything wrong there. What I'm trying to assess is why you are not getting any interview calls. So I will say there are a couple of reasons. Let's think about what are the reasons first. So reason number one, 2023 is not one of the great year to find a job.
That's
So
yeah.
you should not feel bad about that. Oh, I'm not receiving a call. There are more people who are getting laid off versus that are more people who are getting a job, and throughout any industry.
That's correct. Yeah.
And I will tell you, even for our company, we have we have the number of hirings we have are much lower actually, as compared to that we used to have in 2022. Okay, so just think of, you have a pool of students who is big, and then there are more added to that because people have lost the jobs, and then that pool is shrink too at the same time. So
That's correct. Yeah.
right, so
That
the
I see.
chances are most likely for you to receive an application will be very less. I will give you one example that I know of, that a position that we put out, there were 500 applications for one position.
Yeah. I also applied for Lockheed Martin, and I could say like I got a rejection from that
Yeah,
company too.
yeah, but
Yeah.
also I will tell you one thing, that don't apply to the companies which are aerospace or defense related, because they need somebody. They only hire people who are US citizens. So don't waste your time. Yeah. So for example, Northrop Grumman, Raytheon, Lockheed, Boeing, SpaceX, not Tesla, SpaceX. Tesla you can apply, SpaceX. Don't apply. Just don't waste time. If you have a green card, it may, but most of the time they need a US citizenship. Almost 99.9%. So don't waste your time. Okay. Anyway, so long story short, that is the case of the job these days. And on the top of that, as I said to you, is like Lockheed. So for example, when we go out for recruitment, we have a list of university that we what we call preferred universities. So if your university doesn't come there, what I'm saying, your chances become lesser, right? Um, let's talk about, when you apply a job, what are the things that you have to be careful about? Okay, let's talk about that. One of the things that has happened to me is, most of the time I have received an offer when and I looked at a position. I thought and I immediately realized this is what exactly my profile is,
That exactly happening. Yeah.
right? And then I applied for that position in a very serious manner. When I talk, what I meant by that is, if you look for any position, right, you will see they have the description of the job, and then they talk about what the basic qualification should be, and then they
Mhm.
talk about what a preferred qualification should be.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you is, your job, your profile, or your CV should be the carbon copy of what they're asking. It is like in India, when we used to go to find a question paper, there is always used to be the key answer sheet. Remember, we buy that. Your CV should be the key answer sheet. So basic qualification, PhD in material science, check. A
Yes.
knowledge of running X-ray machine, check. Knowledge of material characterization for high temperature materials. Check. It should be that close. Not even less. Should have the knowledge of running Python script. Uncheck. You're done.
Mhm.
Do you understand my point?
Yes.
It has to be that close based on my experience. And that has happened to me for a couple of companies. It has happened to me for Lockheed. It has happened to me for Rolls-Royce. It has happened to me for ANSYS. It has happened to me for um, Alcoa. It has happened to me for Bose. It has happened to me for SpaceX that I applied. It has to be that close. Again, you should have security clearance. Check. You should have US citizenship. Check. Many times I have seen students, even when I was a student, I used to do that. Now I feel stupid is you should have US citizenship. And it doesn't matter. Apply. What the hell? Right? Do that. And I used to do that too. So I'm not saying again to make you feel bad, but this is how it should be, Ashish. It has to be that close. Once you feel it, it has to be that close. Check, 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 check. If one of the thing is not checked, your chances go right 10%, not from 99 to 10 right away. And the reason I will tell you very simple. Remember, we are talking about 500 students applying. And some of them probably have no idea what material characterization is, and still they write in your CV that they have done a lot of work. You understand my point? So the face value is you are just based on what you've written. And if you are honest enough that what you have written, you're done. I'm not saying you should lie, but that's my point.
I got your point. Yeah.
Okay. Third thing, when you write your cover letter, make sure the cover letter is a very brief description of your CV. It should say, I will throw out an example that I have followed. Okay. And one of the things that you have to understand is, I think you have been enough in US for a long time now. I remember when the first time I was in US and I wrote an email to professor. Here goes the email, and I will laugh now. Okay. And you can laugh it too. I said, dear respected professor. Okay. Actually, not even dear, respected professor. Hope things are fine with you. I am fine too. And then probably 3 more lines of how fine I am. And then the sense of what I'm trying to say in 2 lines, and then hope you have a good day. That's garbage, right? The right word to be would be is, dear this, my name is this. The reason I am trying to send this email to you is this. Here is the brief description of the things that I have done. Point 1, 2, 3, 4. One single line, 2 line, because nobody has time to read it. I don't read it. If I don't read it, nobody reads it.
Yes.
I'm a very impatient person. It's like watching a YouTube video. You don't like, you skip to another one, right?
Yeah.
The first 10 minutes should the first 10 seconds if the YouTube video doesn't get my attention in 10 seconds, next. And there are a lot of them, so I don't care, right? It has to be like that. It has to be right to the point right away. Get to the point right away.
Yeah.
Right? And then, thanks. This is my contact number very clearly. This is my email. If you want to know, I would love to talk to you or get in touch with you. This. Not saying I beg. Yeah, another thing. I would really wish to work in this company. No, don't beg.
Mhm.
It's not good for you. It's not good for them. Nobody cares. Okay. So these are the things one has to be very clear about. It will tell you how confident you are. It will tell you how clear you are. And you're like, I'm telling you, these small things, make those changes. And now go back to your CV and look at those big paragraphs. One thing, Ashish, I will tell you also one thing. This is a very big misconception among people who do PhDs. We PhDs have a big ego. We know everything, and we expect other person to know everything. I don't care, and I don't want to care. Do you understand my point?
Yes.
If I'm a recruiter, I'm looking at your CV cover letter, And I'm realizing, oh my goodness, this is like reading a novel. I'm not interested. And I will tell you, if I send you my cover letter, it just says point 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm done. Easy to read, clear, concise. It seems to me you have written your thesis in your cover letter. I'm not interested. I don't want. I don't care. And I will be very blunt. That's how it has to be. This cover letter is one of the worst ones, if I have to put in a very blunt language,
Mhm.
right? PhD is for you. For a recruiter, it's what they want to hear
They
from.
want.
Remember those things? Basic qualification, preferred quality. I mean, if you are going to talk about yields and twin boundaries, that person is a HR person. That person has no idea what the hell are you talking about. He's not even heard about twin boundaries. Who cares? I don't care actually, even if I heard about twin boundaries, right?
Yeah.
This is not your thesis presentation to your professor. This is a totally different person who is talking, who has a degree in psychology and human resources and has no idea what you're talking about. He's trying to ask you, dude, do you know that? And you're telling him about twin boundaries? Just imagine how ridiculous it's going to sound. Very bad cover letter. And probably maybe the reason. Okay.
Yeah.
So go back and fix it. And if you want to send to me back again, I will more than happy to take a look to it. But this needs 99% fix. Okay.
Yes.
Then the third part of, or third or fourth, what I lost the count now. The third part of it is you should also mention about who you are as a person. You should also mention about, see, when you're gonna go in a work in an industry, it's not about you're gonna sit in the lab and do fine twin boundaries and manager is gonna say, wow, Ashish, wow, you figured it out, na man. No, he wants to talk to you. Are you a person who is a people person? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
It
That
doesn't
I have
say
to
anything
mention.
about
Yeah. Mhm.
what are you gonna do to grow your colleagues? What you have done, right? Leadership is the biggest thing that you will find that you come around in a industry setup. You know, you when we are in an institution, we are institutionalized and we are like, oh my God, today I found, and your professor says, wow, and he gives you thumbs up because that's what you get paid for. That's perfectly fine. Industry is a different thing. You yours does your CV is telling me, are you a problem solver? Is your cover letter telling me, are you a problem solver? Is your cover letter
Exactly.
telling me, are you a leader? Is your cover letter telling me, are you a people person? Is your cover letter telling me mm, about your personality? Doesn't say anything like that. Okay, so go ahead and fix it. And again, cover letter is the first thing that every recruiter looks at, and the keywords are very important. That keywords are the one that these human resources guys who have no idea of, again, engineering background should look in. And so, for example, as I said to you, the qualification says high temperature material characterization. If I looking at that, and that person is figuring out your CV and said there is no high temperature and there is no characterization word there, out. That's how they do it.
Got it. Yeah.
Okay.
Not even the synonyms, like the right
Oh
word.
man, no. And most of the companies nowadays are hiring AI like Chat GPT bots or something, I guess. I mean, they're gonna look at what you have written. I mean, they're like, this guy doesn't know anything. I mean, you may be the best person for that work. Right. And again, I'm talking about industry. Tomorrow, let's say if you're gonna go for a faculty position, that CV might be fine, no doubt. But industry position is very different. You are hired as an engineer, as a scientist who is a problem solver. You're not going to write a thesis there. Okay. Okay, coming back to you, any more questions?
Right now, like you have summed up everything, like which I need to fix up. So I got the point.
Yeah,
Like,
but again, Ashish, coming back to the point I previously said, don't feel bad about the situation is different. So I will tell you again my side of a story. I graduated in 2009, and 2008 the market crashed and there was no jobs. And I decided I want to do a postdoc, and the things went fine. Sometimes what I'm trying to tell you is, if God forbidden that happens to you, you feel that, coming back to my first point that I said, what's your plan B? Because I will tell you a story. I have spoke to so many students now. There was a student who graduated from Colorado Boulder, brilliant guy, IIT Kanpur graduate. He didn't pay attention to that, and he had to go back to India after doing PhD. And he after 2 years, he's still in Kolkata. He couldn't find a job. He has to go back, and now he's like, what should I do? He called me a couple of times. I said, I can't help you anymore. What can I do? I mean, that's his fault. There is no plan B. If you don't have a plan B, it's you gonna be in trouble. It's good to be confident, but it's not good to be overconfident. It's always good to have plan B, plan C. I have that. Everybody has that. And I'm pretty sure if you ask your professor and if you have a candid conversation with him, he will realize also that when I was graduating, I may had a plan B too. So that's a good thing to have. Figure it out. What's your plan A? And be focused. And you can say, okay, I'm going to spend 70% of my energy in doing that, but my plan B, where I'm going to put my 30%, so that if that doesn't work, I have something as a backup. And as I said to you, my backup was, I'm going to do a postdoc. I did that and it was fine. I mean, things work out fine, right? So remember that. That's my another advice to you. And as I said to you, it's a matter of time till you find a job. It will be fine. But as I said to you, after last 10 years, I have been laid off 2 times in my career. So nothing is permanent. The advice I gave it to you is forever.
Yes,
All things, it's not like tomorrow you got a job. I mean, go to LinkedIn and you will find people who have been laid off after 10 years, 15 years from Google, Microsoft.
every day we are getting those
Exactly. So
conversations in the
it's a carnage
LinkedIn.
right now. Like even engineering companies, Raytheon and all those companies. I mean, it's a carnage. And just imagine, this guy who got a job 3 months back has no job. This guy who's got a job 3 years back, 20 years back has no job. So there is no guaranteed. What I'm trying to tell you, that the advice I gave you are forever, not for right now.
Yeah.
Always have plan B. And then, as I said, my hunch is, Ashish, if you fix your CV, you will hear back. That's my feeling.
CV or a cover letter?
Sorry, cover letter. CV is fine. Cover letter need to be fixed. This is you probably put an abstract there of your,
Yes.
don't do that. Don't do that. It's really bad, actually. Yeah.
I will definitely work on that part. And
99%. It need to be cleaned out 99%.
okay, I got the words, sir, which I need to work on. Like, do you have a template or anything, or like just asking for a?
Just go to Google. Google it.
Okay.
Yeah. If I have mine one, I will send it to you. But I'm pretty sure your professor might have some. Yeah, ask him to. And then, yeah. But if I find my somewhere handy, I'm gonna just send you an email. But as I said, Google is the best. Whenever I have to look something, I always Google. Say, for example, if I have to apply for a director position in Boeing, I say direct CV of directors at Lockheed. Yeah, I mean, you will probably have more options looking at Google. And do a better copy. Don't just copy. Okay. What else I can help you?
Right now, I'm good. Like, you have solved multiple problems right now.
Hopefully this conversation helps you. And if you need any
Yes.
help in the future, just get in touch, okay? And
Right.
I could assure you one thing is, I think the work you have done is really good amount of work you have done. You have done a really good job. You should be proud of. And I think it's just a matter of time. Just improve on those little bit things, and I think you will fall under. And also realizing what the situation is right now, be aware of your surrounding. That's important, right? So people who are not aware of their surrounding and just think about what it is, then it's bad. Have I got a call, so I'm gonna leave, but nice talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was nice talking with you.
you too. Bye.